You know, they make a lot of big plays with their defense. They put a lot of pressure on you. They dial up different blitzes every week and bring pressure from a lot of different places. And, they get you out of a lot of drives and get a lot of negative plays with their pressure, and then they're very sound fundamentally the rest of the time. So it's a good combination where they can play base and play solid, and then they can dial up the blitzes and bring the pressure and make big plays. You know, they are a very good rushing defense team. You know, they make it tough for you to run the football, and then they have enough negative yardage plays that their rushing totals are usually among the top in the league and frequently in the top in the country.
Your rushing offense has always had some struggles against NAU. Talk about the type of defense that Jerome Sowers has down there, and what makes it so much different to run on than any other defense.
They load you up in the box, you know, and historically, what they've done in the past, they've covered all the offensive linemen down so that there's no combination blocks, no double teams, no angles for pin and pull and off tackle and so forth. So, now this year they've changed their format a little bit. They're not looking exactly the same. They've gone away from kind of the flex defense and gone to more of a traditional 4-3. So it's a little bit more of a look like what we've seen from other teams. 2 years ago when we beat them down there, we had an excellent running game. Demetrius Crawford had a big game, and I still think that's the key to playing NAU or really any team throughout the course of the year. You have to be able to run the football, so that'll be a priority for us, like it is every week, to try to run the ball.
That being said, what's the health of the offensive line these days?
Well, actually better each day. Conrad Burbank got cleared to practice today, so he'll be out there working to see how he moves around. Alex Terrian is still bothered by his ankle injury, but he played the whole game on Saturday, and he'll practice today, and everybody else is in pretty good shape, so we got one back.
You anticipate CJ and Lorenzo splitting the workload again in a game like this for running?
Yeah, I think a little bit depends on who gets hot. You know, what kind of style of run game is going to be the best for us in the game. Lorenzo has those quick moves. If there's a lot of congestion at the line of scrimmage, he can be effective there. And CJ is a little more powerful, on the running through arm tackles maybe at the line of scrimmage. And they both can get out and go. And we just need to keep both of them fresh so they can run hard and hopefully get some daylight a couple times in the game for either one or both of them.
And talk a little bit about NAU Michael Herrick being dinged up as well. Does your game plan change at all with something like that going on?
We're assuming that Michael Herrick will play. He's listed on the 2 deep as the starting quarterback, and I'm assuming that he'll play. He's a very good quarterback, and Chasen Stangl, the backup who came in, did a nice job in the second half against Eastern Washington, and throws the ball, does a lot of the same things that Herrick does. So the game plan is going to be the same for either one of them, but we think Herrick will play, and I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country at FCS. So we're going to have our hands full.
Do you prepare for the notion that he wouldn't at all? I mean, do you prepare at all for the chance he wouldn't play?
It's the same game plan, whether he's in there or Chasen's in there. So it'll just be one game plan.
Clay Bignell, what's his status?
He's not going to practice today. The ankle's still bothering him. He tried to play the game on Saturday, had a couple of, had at least one series, I think was all he got in, and he just couldn't push off of it. So we're going to give him a couple more days to recover, and hopefully he'll be able to get it done.
And NAU's probably thinking, we need to establish one game too. How do you stop that from happening?
Our front guys have done a pretty good job against the run game throughout the year. I hope we can do that again. Lexi Groslack in the middle is getting better every single game that he plays there, and that's been a good thing. Jody Owens is playing tough, and our defensive line has been very good against the run. So, I do think they run the ball hard. They've got a good offensive line, and their run game is very solid, so it's going to be a challenge. But we have to get up there and get it stopped, and if we have to get our safeties involved to get it stopped, we'll do that, and that's what you have to do in this game.
Coach, when you look at the tape from the Portland State game about the defense, you still got 31 points, but did you see any improvement from that Sacramento State game that maybe the defense is coming along a little more?
Yeah, I thought our defense played a good game. Really, they had a couple big plays early, and then we went through a stretch where the score was 41-0. And that was a good stretch defensively through the whole second quarter, third quarter, with good stops, fourth down stops, turnovers. We got 2 fumbles. We made some big plays on defense, and I like that. I thought there were flashes of really good play. And then when we got to 44-18, I think everything just kind of dulled down after that, and we just didn't play, with as much emotion. After that big fourth down stop, and then the touchdown after Everett's long run, I think everybody just kind of thought it was over. And Portland State did a good job of continuing to try to come back.
How about Riders hit? Not a big deal. Not in the same light as Jordan's.
Riders hit was looked at by the league, and there will be no suspension by the league. They said it was a good form tackle, and so we're clear on that. I thought it was a good play, but it's just in today's climate of the concussion danger that's out there in the game of football, we have to be vigilant about making the game as safe as we can.
Coach, on defense, have you had any discussion with Coach Marshall about how you guys can limit those big plays? It seems like teams haven't really pecked their way down the field with you guys. It's been those big plays they really cashed in on.
Big plays are usually all about technique, missed assignments, one of those two things. And technique could be a missed tackle. Technique could be losing the cup or letting the ball bounce outside of our force player. Missed assignments. We had on one of those long plays, we had no safety in the middle of the field. Both safeties dropped down. One of them was supposed to roll back. There was no safety in the middle, and they hit the middle, and it was pretty wide open. So that's just a mistake. That can be corrected. Most of them can be, and I think we'll be fine. We have some inexperience there too. When you take the guys that are injured to look at them, they're all seniors. O'Connell, Bignell, Craney, even Ogden's been out some. Those are all senior guys that have a lot of experience, and they're going to be better on technique and on assignments than guys that are younger. But our guys that are younger now are getting experience, getting better, and I think they're going to be more and more often in the right position.
Any temptation to dial down the aggressiveness on defense? I mean, is it because of the blitzing or anything?
Our aggressiveness is good, actually. We were very effective with our blitzes against Portland State. The dreaded draw play that everyone's talking about, we stopped that multiple times with good blitzes that got tackles for losses. And you can't blitz every time or else you get predictable, but our defense has done well when we've blitzed.
This is obviously Sacramento State was a good road test for your team, but I mean, a lot of people are pointing to this game as Flagstaff on the road, one of the toughest venues in the conference, to travel to. Is this your toughest road contest of the year?
I think every game we play is going to be our toughest contest, home or away. The next one's going to be the one, and especially because of where we are in the standings and how well we've played. Everybody in the league wants us to lose now, and so whether we're on the road or at home or who we're playing, it's going to be a tough test.
And I mean, this Northern Arizona game has been kind of a boom or a bust one for you guys the past couple years. Talk about going back down there, a place where you had a ton of success in 2000.
We have good memories from going down there, but no delusions of repeating history. We know we have to play well. We have to execute our game plan. We have to try to stay healthy and go down and play hard like we've been playing. I don't think the formula changes at all, no matter about the venue or what happened in the past. This team, as we've said all along, is very focused about this week, this game, just today, not last year or last week or 2 weeks from now, but right now in the present, getting the job done.